Hello and congratulations. Because if you are watching this video, this means that you're getting really close to your closing. I want to go over with you what is called your initial closing disclosure. You are required to get this disclosure from us within a certain amount of time before closing. It does require your signature, and that signature just signifies that you did get that document within the amount of time that we were required to send it. This is not your final figure. These are not your final figures, and this is not the amount that you're going to bring to closing. This just gets the conversation started between us and the title company. So just going over with you in a general overview, this is an example of one. When your final closing disclosure is available and all your final figures, I'm going to send you another video going over yours specifically in detail. But up top, you're going to see here the parties to the transaction, the type of loan that you're getting, whether it's fixed or not, what your sales price is. Here we have your loan amount, your interest rate, and your monthly principal and interest. Monthly principal and interest is going to be the same for the entire life of the loan when you have a fixed rate, which is almost always going to be the case. This is the same amount for the entire life of the loan as long as you have this loan. What can change is when you have an escrow account for taxes and insurance, potentially mortgage insurance, if that's the case in your situation, those figures can change. So your total monthly payment can change and usually does change every year, but the principal and interest portion of the payment will stay the same the entire time. Most likely, you're going to see no for prepayment penalty and balloon. Those will both be no, most likely. In this section here, this illustrates any costs associated with owning this property on a monthly basis. And in this example, this person is buying a condo. They have condominium homeowners association dues. So that's in this $883.22 a month. If you look over here where it says in escrow, it's no. Those HOA dues, whether you have a $20 HOA or a $600 a month HOA, they will be paid directly to the HOA. They are never going to be in your mortgage payment. If you don't know who to pay it to or how much it is, that information is going to come to you from the title company. Okay, we have our total of closing costs, which is broken down on the next page, and we have our cash to close. Now, again, your initial closing disclosure, this is not going to be your final figure by any stretch. It never happens that way. It's going to have to get shored up, and then when we have that final figure, this is the amount on page one, the bottom of page one, is the amount you're going to wire to the title company or get a cashier's check for. Most likely you're going to wire. If you wired your earnest money to the title company already in the beginning of this process, you should have those wiring instructions, and that's where you'll send the rest of the money. On page two, this breaks down any costs or credits that are associated with arriving at that closing cost figure. You want to pay attention to this column right here that says borrower paid. These are the things that are paid by you. And there's going to be fees on here to the lender, to the title company, to third parties that were used to process this loan and get us to where we are right now. There's fees to the government for recording your mortgage. There's your first year of insurance. We always collect that at closing. Whether you escrow or not, we're going to collect that first year of insurance. We're going to pay some prepaid interest from the day of your closing to the last day of the month of your closing. We're going to set up your escrow account. We're going to have a little cushion in there because theoretically, when your taxes and insurance do come due in a year or so, they're likely going to have gone up. So we want to have a little cushion in there, make sure we're not short. If you did buy a condominium like this person, you'd see some fees in this section here of transferring the HOA to you, capital contribution, those types of things. Maybe you got a survey, you had to get a survey or a water test or something for the property you're buying, that would be in here. So we'll just keep going. Again, I'm going to go over yours in detail with you, but just to give you the high level overview, on this last page here, I'll make it a little smaller. We have monies that are due from you and monies that are credited to you or paid on your behalf. So up here, we have your sales price. This is how much you agreed to buy the home for, the closing costs that were totaled on page two. In this person's case, they had a judgment that had to be paid off in order to have clear title for the new purchase. So we had to pay that judgment off. That would be right here. These are monies that are due from you. This bottom section here are monies, credits, and monies that are paid on behalf of you. First, the one you're going to see is that earnest money that you've put down right in the beginning. That's getting credited to you at closing. The next line down is the loan amount, the amount we're giving you or we're wiring to title. And then if there's been a seller credit, that would be here as well. This last little section here is prorated real estate taxes. So real estate taxes are paid in arrears. When you pay your taxes in 2024, it's 2023's taxes. Well, if you bought your house in June of 23, you didn't own it for 6 of those months. You shouldn't have to pay the taxes for the whole year of 23. The seller, the person selling you the house, should be paying those 6 months of taxes. That's going to be credited to you right here at closing. Again, we come back down to this bottom line. This is how much you're going to send to the title company when it's your final CD, when it's their final figure. That's where you're going to see that number, and that's going to be the amount you send to the title company. Again, congratulations on getting this far. We are almost there. We're on the 5-yard line, and we are looking forward to your closing.